My hands were shaking as I drove down the winding dirt road to our family's 30,000-acre ranch in Montana, a place I hadn't seen in 2 years. I'd been working oil rigs in North Dakota, trying to rebuild my life after a brutal divorce left me with nothing but child support payments and a beat-up truck. I expected to see the familiar sprawl of open fields, the old barn where my grandpa taught me to fix fences, and the modest farmhouse where I'd raised my daughter, Lily, for her first 7 years. Instead, I was greeted by a massive wrought iron gate, gleaming under the September 2023 sun, with gold lettering that read, Silver Pines Estates, built on historic Carter Ranch. My stomach dropped. My knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. This was no mistake, this was theft. A security guard in a crisp uniform approached, his fake smile practically screaming trouble. "Sir, this is private property. You'll need to turn around." I rolled down my window, forcing my voice to stay calm. "I'm Nathan Carter. This is my family's land." The guard's face flickered confusion, then something like pity. He muttered into his radio, and soon I was being escorted not to my childhood home, but to a sleek sales office where our barn once stood. The polished marble floors and floor-to-ceiling windows mocked me, framing a sprawling artificial lake surrounded by mansions that screamed wealth. My 9-year-old daughter, Lily, pressed her nose against the car window, her voice small. "Daddy, why are there fancy houses where Grandpa's horses used to run?" I had no answer, only a boiling rage as I realized our family's legacy, held since the 1870s, had been stolen. Inside the sales office, I met Victor Grayson, the man behind it all. He strode in like he owned the world, mid-40s, slick gray hair, a suit worth more than my truck. His handshake lingered too long, his smile too sharp. "Nathan Carter, I've been expecting you," he said, like we were old friends. My skin crawled. "There's some confusion," I said, voice tight. "This is my family's ranch." Grayson's laugh was smooth, practiced. "No confusion, Nathan. You sold this land to us 2 years ago, legal and documented." He swiped on a tablet, showing a deed with my signature, $2.5 million for 30,000 acres. A laughable price, less than $100 an acre. But the signature? I'd never seen that document. I was in North Dakota when it was supposedly signed, barely scraping by. Someone had forged it. As I stared at the tablet, Lily tugged my sleeve. "Daddy, look what I found." She held up an old leather-bound journal from a donation box by the door, filled with faded handwriting, family records, birth dates, and what looked like property deeds tucked between the pages. Grayson's eyes flicked to the journal, his composure slipping for a split second. "Just old ranch memorabilia," he said, reaching for it. "We're preserving it for our community museum." I pulled the journal back. "If it's my family's, it's mine." The air thickened with tension. Grayson's smile vanished. "You sold this land, Nathan. You cashed the check. It's time to move on." He gestured to the door. "You're trespassing." Back in my truck, Lily clutched the journal, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we'd stumbled onto something dangerous. The next day, I called my college friend, Sarah Bennett, a real estate lawyer in Bozeman. When I told her about the forged signature and the journal, her voice turned grim. "Bring me everything, Nathan. If someone stole 30,000 acres, we're going to bury them." At her office, Sarah laid out county records showing I'd signed the deed while I was on a rig 800 miles away. "This is identity theft on a massive scale," she said. Then she opened the journal to a yellow document from 1875, a perpetual water rights easement granting the Carter family exclusive control over the springs feeding the land. Sarah's eyes lit up. "Nathan, that lake Grayson built? It depends entirely on your springs. Without them, his $15 million development is a dry ditch." The implications hit me like a punch. Grayson's empire rested on water I legally owned. Sarah grinned like a shark. "He stole your land, but he doesn't own the water. In Montana, water rights are separate from land. Even if his sale holds up, which it won, this screwed." Over the next week, we built our case, uncovering a pattern of fraud. Grayson's company, Sapphire Development LLC, had targeted struggling rural families across Montana, forging documents during their darkest moments. I wasn't his first victim, just his biggest prize. But Grayson fought dirty. My phone buzzed with notifications someone had doxed me online, calling me a deadbeat dad and a con artist trying to ruin innocent homeowners. My tires were slashed. A brick crashed through my apartment window with a note, leave Silver Pines alone. Then Lily's school called men in suits were asking about her schedule. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just about land anymore. Grayson was threatening my daughter. Sarah helped me file a restraining order and alert the police, but the water rights hearing was where we struck back. The judge, a no-nonsense woman named Ellen Whitaker, dismantled Grayson's argument that our 1875 easement was outdated. "Counselor," she snapped, "perpetual means forever in Montana law." She ruled in our favor. The Carters owned the water, and Sapphire had 30 days to negotiate or stop using it. Grayson's face went ashen as his lake became a ticking time bomb. Then things escalated. After the hearing, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Stop now, or Lily pays." Attached was a photo of her playground, taken that morning. I raced to her school and found a GPS tracker in her backpack, no bigger than a coin but heavy with menace. I called Sarah, who urged me to involve the sheriff. Detective Tom Harlan, a grizzled cop, took one look at the tracker and said, "This is a federal crime, Nathan. But you need to ask yourself if this fight is worth risking your family." I didn't hesitate. Grayson had crossed a line, and I'd teach him that bullies don't win, no matter their money. I filed to cut off his water supply. Within days, Silver Pines Lake began shrinking, docks stranded in mud, boats grounded. Homeowners panicked, their lakefront properties worthless. Grayson retaliated. Private investigators tailed me. His lawyers challenged every ruling, and one night, 3 men smashed my windows, daring me to fight. I recorded them instead, their faces clear on my security footage. Then, at 3 a.m., my cameras caught Grayson and 2 others tampering with the springs, trying to destroy the water source itself. It was a federal environmental crime, and the police swarmed in, cuffing Grayson in the mud as he screamed that I'd ruined his life. I thought of the tracker in Lily's bag and felt no pity. The arrest went viral. My story splashed across national news. A working-class dad taking down a corrupt developer. Grayson's company collapsed, and the FBI uncovered his ties to a shadowy group called Pinnacle Development Corporation, which had been stealing rural land for decades. But Lily's discovery in the school library changed everything. She found a 1983 article about a Carter family, our relatives who vanished after refusing to sell their ranch. The photo showed a girl who could have been Lily's twin, and the article hinted at a secret powerful people would kill for. Sarah dug deeper and found Pinnacle was led by a billionaire, Edward Voss, obsessed with our land since the 1960s. Voss believed it hid Confederate gold from the Civil War, a myth my ancestors had perpetuated to protect something else entirely. In a safe house, with Lily under FBI protection, I learned the truth from a historian, Dr. Emily Harper. My great-great-grandfather hadn't hidden gold but explosive documents, Confederate spy lists, Union battle plans, and plans for a second rising to destabilize the government. These papers, buried on our land, could rewrite history. With Dr. Harper, we excavated a metal box near the old ranch house. Inside were records of spies who'd infiltrated the U.S. government, some becoming senators and advisors. There were plans for economic sabotage and evidence that prominent families funded Confederate causes into the 1900s. Instead of hiding them, Lily and I donated them to the Smithsonian, stipulating public access after review. Our press conference sparked global headlines, exposing the truth and neutralizing the threat of those who'd kill for it. Today, Lily's 18, studying history, and our ranch is Carter State Park, a public treasure. The mineral rights worth $250 million fund our foundation, helping 300 families fight land theft. Voss died in prison, but Dr. Harper's warning lingers. Some still hunt these secrets. As I watch the sunset from our new home, I wonder what my ancestors would think. Lily says it best. We didn't know we were guarding history. We just knew we were guarding home. What do you think? Was donating the documents the right call, or should we have kept them secret to protect our family? Could there be more secrets buried on our land? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more stories of justice and hidden truths. What would you have done in our shoes?